Hello everybody and welcome to the Danimal Weekly number 29. I am Dan Andrews, also known as the Danimal from thedanimalhouse.com. Today we're going to be talking about books. For the longest time I was a really avid reader. When I was really young I read tons and tons of books, and then in high school I kind of got away from it a little bit. And recently, past couple of years or whatever, I've really started knocking out a lot of reading, like books and books at a time, every week or whatever. I've found like tremendous value in them more recently. They've helped me tremendous in terms of like financially, in terms of like inspiration, confidence, and like morally. I find like a lot of value in reading and just being well read. It comes off. You can tell if you talk to somebody who's read a lot and who's very familiar with like integral parts of like American and like literature, culture, and that sort of thing. It like you can tell it has an impressive factor to it. So I always try to read a lot. So I'm just going to recommend a few of my favorites. I'll start off with probably my favorite book of all time. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is probably like the key to financial happiness and other happiness just in general. I think it's probably one of the best books ever written, until at least my book comes out. But there's so much. If you're the type of person that has like aspirations and dreams of doing really big things, you're fucking up if you haven't read this book. Really, it should be like required reading for everybody who's on this planet. So that's definitely, it gives you a lot of insight. It's kind of got a focus on financial success because it came out just after the Depression, but it applies to a lot of things, and there's a lot of like very important principles to this that you'll hear anybody talk about that's into like prosperity coaching or like motivational speakers. A lot of those ideas came from this book. It's like the first time I've ever seen them written about or talked about, and I think a lot of them just stole this shit from Napoleon Hill. But so that's fantastic. I've really gotten away from reading fiction now more than ever because I've become like a book snob ever since I started writing my book, which is like a memoir, so it's nonfiction. I really have a hard time getting into fictional books. But the Odyssey, the classics I'm a big fan of the classics. The Odyssey and the Iliad by Homer. I like the Robert Fagles translation. If you're wanting something just like a novel or an epic story, you really can't go wrong with the classics. They are hard to get through. It does take some patience, and you kind of need to just like let yourself be absorbed and not like obsess over like getting every little context they throw in there, because a lot of the terms are very archaic, and the way they refer to like the Greeks and the Trojans is very different from how we do now. But if you have a little bit of background with the classics in like Latin, then it really doesn't get better than the Odyssey. That's probably another reason I don't like fictional books anymore, is because no one can write shit better than Homer did, which is kind of sad. Then some other books here: The Vegetarian Myth, Jim Cramer's book, and then 4-Hour Workweek. 4-Hour Workweek. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of. I don't think I could do that again if I tried. 4-Hour Workweek is like, a lot of people rave about this book by Tim Ferriss. I picked it up off Johnny Payne's recommendation. I was not impressed, and I don't know if it was because it was after I read Think and Grow Rich, but he doesn't like present some interesting ideas with like outsourcing and startup businesses and that sort of thing. I just wasn't all that impressed. It was kind of, it just seemed like kind of it was like kind of like, I felt like the book was written just to be a New York Times bestseller, and there wasn't a whole lot of specific value in the information, because although he does give you some like tricks as to like becoming rich and like establishing this new lifestyle, a lot of it's very impractical, and almost the time and effort goes into like sort of cheating the system is more effort than it required to just do it properly. So it's a good book, don't get me wrong. I'd recommend you read it anyway. There's like hardly a book I wouldn't recommend reading, even if it's bad. But Think and Grow Rich is definitely like my go-to financial sort of happiness, just best book ever. Like if you need like a pick-me-up in your life, that's what I would read. And then also in terms of fiction, Hemingway. I've really become like a Hemingway fanboy as far as fiction goes, because he's a big inspiration in my writing, and I really like the sort of non-fiction approach he puts into fiction. Like just with his writing styles and the literature techniques and the way he manipulates the syntax, I think is fascinating. And everybody knows Hemingway is just such like a revolutionary writer. Like he invented like the iceberg theory essentially, and like really started using cumulative sentence structures and things like that. And I really like that stuff. So Hemingway, although I think his content could have been better, is probably one of my favorite writers of all time. I'm trying to think what else. let's see. We'll go on the Kindle Fire here and see what else I have read. Oh, Next to Think and Grow Rich. Let me look up the title of it. 1 second. Picture of Dorian Gray. That's a good fiction book. If you're, The Art of Influencing People, or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That is also just like Think and Grow Rich. If you are in a situation or a environment where you need to be like networking with people and getting along with them and like really need to flesh out and enjoy relationships, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is absolutely like top tier writing in terms of that. Again, like these books, Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People, were both written in like the 20s/30s time period, and I literally think all books written on the topic now are just like manipulating the information they've presented, and they present it really well. So those would be, if you read 2 books because of this video, it would be Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People. They can't be beat. I think those, if you were to just read those 2 alone, you'd have a great foundation for just being successful and no matter what you do. So thanks guys, this is the Danimal Weekly number 29. I am Dan Andrews. I hope you guys enjoyed these clips I got, the intro and the outro. I liked those a lot in the older videos, so we're going to bring those back. Have a great day guys. Peace out.
See if you can guess what I am now. I'm a zit. Get it?
All right, you bastard, let's go right here.
Yeah!